Hey guys, I want to share a quick one with you here. This is all after the fact. This is by no means a walkthrough video, but I replaced the CVT, the transmission on this vehicle, which is a CVT. And what happens is, um, right after just on turning on the ignition on this one, if you go to the TCM, you would find a code in it. It will kick a code instantly, which was P17F, as in Frank 1. I think there's another code involving F that it might kick in some cases, which is I think a P17F0. But whenever you replace a used CVT, from what I'm seeing, it's not uncommon to kick that code. You will go to clear that code and it will come right back. It will not clear. So you can always try clearing it first. That would be my advice. But if you find where it's not clearing, and even to be honest, guys, even if there is no code, I think this procedure that I'm about to show you is required, or at least useful. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So what I did is, after replacing the CVT, it was kicking that code. What I had to do, and what makes me happy, and I want to share it with you, is I have this launch. This is the X431 scan tool, and I was hoping that it could do this procedure, and it did. And how it works is, I won't be able to walk through. In fact, the key is even off now. But this is the TCM. I'm in the transmission control module here. Oh, put that. And in this case, it's not work support. You'd think I'd have to go to work support. For whatever reason, I'm not seeing the transmission relearn procedure in there, or the calibration right procedure in there. In fact, let me go ahead and turn the key on just so I can go in and show that part to you guys. Is the key in here? Okay. Okay. Oops. It did come up. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, key's on. Let me show you this. So on that procedure to rewrite the calibration, you would think it was work support, but you go to work support. You see, it talks about reading and writing the TCM itself. It has the other calibration data, G-sensory calibration and all that. All good stuff that should be done in most cases. Conform CVT, deterioration, all that must be done. But if you realize, in fact, let me go back here now. Go back, and sorry if there's a glare on this. Go to special function. What you'll see here now in special function, this is the procedure I went through, where it says write IP, which is the characteristic replacement, AT, automatic transmission / CVT. That's the procedure I went through. Now, doing that, it will walk you through, it will prompt you as far as what to do, which is why I mentioned that this is not a walkthrough video. So I did that procedure after it walked me through. A part of that procedure, guys, and this is where I want to get to. A part of that procedure, it asks for the QR code to be scanned. That's the one on the range, the shifter range sensor there. That QR code has to be scanned. Now, I tried it a few times and it did not work, because it's almost as if, this is an old enough tool, but it just wasn't picking up good. I ended up taking this heater hose here, this radiator hose, and I pried it over, and then I strapped this hose down here with a bungee and pull it out the way, and got the camera down on the tool to scan the barcode as far as I could down. And in fact, it didn't even scan it right away. I had to hold it steady, and it was reading, focusing and all that. And at some point, And this was a last ditch effort, because at this point I was thinking of getting a mobile guy to come out to get this done. But I held it there, and then finally it scanned it and said that the procedure was completed. And I finalized the procedure. But that's the thing, it worked. So what happens is that code ties into the transmission, all the information on the valve body, and it wrote it here to the transmission control module. And now we're good. And in fact, what happens after doing that, now I did in fact, go back here, I did go ahead and when I did the read fault code, the code was still there, but then when I cleared it, then the code went away. Let's see here. Read fault code there, no DTCs. Before, of course, it was just there. You clear it and go read DTC, and it will just be there. And then, as I say, I did the other little procedures that needs to be done. Yeah, can't remember if I did them on the special function. But yeah, reset the fluid. That's really the fluid life that you reset, the CVT fluid, and the relearn procedure and all that. I will tell you, to avoid all this, the place I got the CVT from, the transmission, they did send the TCM with it, the TCM that came out of that car, which I'm seeing that this is a 2016. The TCM they sent came out for 2015. And I'm not sure if that's where there is some kind of difference, because I went ahead and just installed the TCM that they sent. Once I saw that it wasn't working, I was trying to avoid getting into the whole problem of having tinkering. You know, what should I do, the TCM or the the TCM that came in there and all that. So what I did to make it easy, I just went back with my TCM. This is the original TCM that was in this car. So I just stayed with that, and then what I tried doing was getting the data from the transmission to write it in the TCM that was already in the car. And I did it that way. So the TCM that they sent, which matched this transmission, it was kicking the code. And then so whichever TCM was there was kicking the code. Either way, the same code. Which again, guys, it's not uncommon from what I'm finding out. But if you run into it and you have your launch scan tool, because you look up procedures on this on YouTube, and you see guys using the console 3 and all that all the time, and they give you the walkthrough procedure. Now all those, it's still helpful. You can watch those videos, but what I'm getting to is if you have your regular scan tool, like your launch, your RTL, go ahead and try that. And that scanning of the QR code is a good procedure. Understand that scanning the QR code, that will not give you the latest calibration from Nissan. So if you want to go through the procedure of seeing if there's an update on this, an updated software, and load that in, by all means do that. I think you can go to like Nissan Tech Info, some website, and find that out. But as far as just getting it where that code is cleared out and you can do the relearns and all that, this tool is enough to get you there. At least in my case it did. Another thing I always do before doing any procedures like this is you see there it says Nissan V45.00. that's the latest software that I have available in this tool, and it got it done. Now finally, I hate to be rambling here, guys, but one more thing that this tool was trying to do, but my subscription has expired, and it was claiming that it couldn't go any further because my subscription was expired. But it seemed like there was an option where I could have downloaded, doing the same thing, going to the IP characteristic replacement, going through that procedure. There was one where it claimed that it could download it from a server and load it in the TCM. Probably would happen, but when I got to that point it was saying I'd have to renew my subscription to get that done. So maybe that's another option, but just wanted to let you guys know about this. Finally, one thing I'll mention, I did replace this CVT transmission, as I said, and it was relatively easy. In fact, I don't know why I want to explain this. Maybe because most people in this case might be looking up this procedure before deciding to tackle the transmission replacement. Once you have this vehicle in the air and all that, and you strip off this side where the transmission is, just to let you know, I did not remove the CV axle from any side. What I did was I popped the CV axle from the transmission, pull it out, which took some muscle, but you pull it out, leaving it in the spindle, and then I just strapped it where it's out of the way. And over on this side, I just left it all in place. That's a long side, the long shaft that goes all the way in the transmission. And what I did was tilt the engine enough. I was doing this on the left, but then you tilt the engine enough and the CVT will slide out and clear enough for you to get it out. That's with you taking the mount of the CVT. But I just wanted to mention that. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask below. If you like this video, then like this video, and consider subscribing. I'm gonna start putting out more and more of these videos, but I don't do a whole bunch of walkthrough. Usually I do stuff after the fact, like I solved this problem and I'm just gonna explain to you how I solved it. So hope you find this helpful, and y'all take care.